Hey everybody, welcome back to Peachy Disc Golf. Today we're going to be doing a little putter review / comparison video. We're going to be taking a look today at the newly released Discmania P3x putter in S-Line plastic, and we're going to be comparing it against the Prodigy PX-3. This video is not going to be confusing at all. Let's get right into it. So today we're taking a look at the P3x from Discmania, S-Line plastic, a nice overstable throwing putter here. The numbers are 3203, so nice, dependable, overstable putter. Feels great in the hand. I do love Discmania's S-Line plastic. Let's take a look at the side profile here. You can see it's a beaded putter. It's pretty comfortable in the hand. It is a little bit on the deeper side for me, but I do think it feels very comfortable in the hand. The bead fits pretty nicely in the crook of my finger here. And yeah, I have not thrown this disc yet. I'm really excited to give it a try here at Chattahoochee Point. And just to add a little flair to it, I was like, this name sounds familiar. And that's because I have the Prodigy PX-3, which is another overstable putter. So the numbers initially, at least for the PX-3, were like 3402.5. So pretty similar to the numbers for the P3X, so just a little bit more glide and a little less fade. But I think they, I know Prodigy has been going through and changing some of their numbers up. I think the PX3 is now a 3302. So it's just a little bit more of an overstable PA3. And I think that's sort of what they were going for with the number here, PX3 versus PA3. Just like the PA3, it's a beaded putter as well. And we're looking at both discs side by side here. The PX3 from Prodigy is actually just a little bit deeper feeling than the P3X. Oh my God, this is gonna be so hard. It feels just a little bit deeper. It's not a lot, like just looking at them side by side, they don't look that different, but definitely in my hand personally, I do find the P3X from Discmania to feel a little bit more comfortable, a little shallower. We're gonna see. We're gonna play 9 holes here at Chattahoochee Point Park. We're gonna compare both of these discs to each other, and I'll sort of give you my thoughts on mainly the P3X here. It's more of a review for this disc. I just thought it'd be fun to add a little confusion into the mix. So we're gonna start off here at hole 1. We're playing from the shorts here. Hole 1 is only 200 feet, par 3 with the basket on the right side. I think they're actually gonna be changing the baskets up here pretty soon, so I'm really looking forward to that. If you've been following the channel, you may have realized over the past couple weeks, I have not posted anything. I've just been super slammed with work. Either that or when I have time to play, it's been raining, and even yesterday we had a pretty big thunderstorm roll through, so I'm gonna try my best not to slip and fall. So just getting the excuses ready to go, because on this first shot here, I haven't thrown a disc in like 2 weeks at this point, maybe longer, I don't even know. So these are probably gonna be shanks, but we're gonna be going straight at the basket down the right gap here. We're gonna start with the P3X, then we're gonna go with the PX3. Well, I got it down the right side. It is overstable. Wow, that's down there. Maybe a circle's edge putt, a little short. The 2 glide definitely seems accurate. It did not want to stay in the air at all. It just sort of started dumping real early, but we got past the last tree at least. Let's give the PX3. I'm probably gonna have to say the manufacturer for each of these discs just to make it a little more clear as to which disc I'm throwing here. Oh wow, that's a tap-in. Okay, so I definitely thought the Prodigy PX3 was closer. Ended just a little short, but that's we're actually pretty comparable distances for both of these. The P3X from Discmania though, definitely just a little bit further, I think. Oh, I thought I had that. Here we go. PX3. Let's see, can it take a little stroke advantage right away? This does feel more similar to what I'm putting with the PA3s here. Oh, I got it. Let's go. Hole 5 is only 155 feet, par 3. Got the basket straight ahead, just a narrow tunnel shot here. The biggest danger is fading off left into this really steep ravine, so it's gonna be tricky with overstable putters here. Right now, the Prodigy PX-3 has the box, then we'll go with the Discmania P3x. Might have a putt there. It's gonna be a tricky footing. I'm like in some roots over there. Oh man, that was kept it a little low there. All right, P3X here now. That's a tap-in. Let's go. All right, PX3. Definitely, it's close enough to get this in. Oh my God, I have like the narrowest window. I'm actually gonna bring the camera so you guys can see what this putt looks like. It's pretty cool. All right, really precarious camera position here. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. Let's see if we can make this putt. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Oh, I was just so scared if I was gonna just do my normal putt, I was gonna hit this tree and my brain knew it, so it just flung it out to the right. Hole 6, 195 feet, par 3. Basket is wide open, straight ahead here. So this is a pretty good hole, I think, for both of these discs. Discmania with the box, so we're starting with the P3X, then PX3 second. Oh, geez, I did not throw that wide enough. Oh God. Yeah, that was good distance. Just did not throw it wide enough. So here we go. PX3. That should be parked. Nope, it's short. Dang. All right, so with the P3X, I definitely thought I had the distance, but I'm shorter even than the PX3. The PX3 actually is a nice little easy 10-foot putt. Should have that no problem. Oh, the stability got me at the end. I had the height and the distance. All right, and here you can see the PX3. Pretty close actually, we're looking at like a nice 10-foot putt here. All right, just going back and forth it seems like. Both of these are actually flying pretty nice. And it's interesting because they're both different. It does seem like the P3X has less glide. It didn't go as far as the PX3 did on this last throw, and I thought I threw them about the same power. I just threw this one a little more inside. But the PX3 here definitely has just a little bit less finish. Now, both of them are still pretty dependable, I would say. Like, I don't know if I trust the PX3 100% in the wind, but I wouldn't be afraid of trying it once at least. Whereas the P3X is just a little bit more overstable. Hole 8, 180 feet, par 3. Basket is off on the right here in between two trees. We're gonna be testing out the overstability of these putters. We're gonna put a good bit of anhyzer on them and we'll see how quickly they fight out or if they can hold the turn towards the basket. We're gonna start off with the PX3 here. I think this does have a better chance of making it to the basket. I do think it's a little less overstable, but we're gonna put that to the test here. Okay, I definitely threw that way lower than I wanted, but we should have like a 15-foot putt there, very makeable. It held the turn, and then it did start panning out, but it wasn't like it wasn't like a big, steep, overstable finish. It was just a nice, gentle pan there. So we'll see, what is the P3X gonna do? Well, I threw that way wider. I did not give it a chance to really have a good putt there. It did pan out a little bit harder. Not a lot though, it's not crazy. This isn't a zone or anything like that. It's definitely a nice overstable putter, but we're not looking at something like an overstable approach disc here. But it did actually have some finish to the left, where the PX3 definitely just sort of finished flat. All right, so the PX3 is probably gonna be taking a stroke here, but I definitely think that was more user error. I think I could have gotten this one if I would have thrown it on the same line as the PX3. We would have like maybe a 20-foot putt. Ooh, good run. Good run from the tree there. But PX3. All right, hole 9, 180 feet, par 3. Basket is straight ahead here. Nice open shot, perfect shot for both of these discs here. PX3 has a 2-stroke lead right now, so we're gonna start with it. P3X next. Let's try to get both of these close. Hopefully we walk away with 2 birdies, honestly. Ooh, that's a great throw. 10-foot putt there, PX3. Oh, P3. Oh, they're so confusing. All right, Discmania P3X here. Oh, that was a great throw as well. I definitely had a little more anhyzer on that one, so it had just a little bit of turn. Checked up nice right over the basket, it seemed like. Nice birdie. We should be getting another one with the PX3 as well. Hole 10, 205 feet, par 3. Plays a little bit uphill, but it is wide open. I do have a bit of trouble getting here with putters, so I don't actually know if I'm going to get close enough with either of these discs, but we're going to be throwing them full power, see if we can get close. I do know if I'm throwing like an Envy, on the other hand, or something I could trust a little bit more, I do throw it hard enough and can get it there, so I actually think I should be able to trust this P3X enough. And honestly, this PX3 hasn't been any slouch either when it comes to overstability, so I'm going to give both of these nice 100% throws, and let's see if we can get close. So the PX3 still has the box. Nice. I think that's still short, like 10-15 feet, but definitely a putt. And like I said, it's definitely something I can trust. I even had that on just a little bit of anhyzer, and we are throwing into just a baby headwind, but it had no problem. P3X, because it's got a little more stability, I think we should be able to trust this one even more. Oh, those are both great shots, honestly. I'm very happy with myself. Now this is quite a surprise. The P3X from Discmania, less glide, is actually a little bit closer. Maybe I did throw it a little bit harder. I thought I threw them pretty similar because I did think I threw this PX3 with full power, but that's a little bit closer. That's an easy tap, and we gotta make this. I thought this was 10-15 feet short, and that's about where we are, so I should make this, but oh, I thought I short armed it just enough to get over the cage. So 2 birdies again. Hole 11, the sign says 205 feet, but I think it actually plays a little bit longer. Every time I throw a putter here, it comes out way short. We're gonna start with the PX3 first. The sun is coming out. I thought it was supposed to be raining almost all day today, so it's like getting toasty now. Yeah, that's way short. This hole is not 200 feet. Like, that was a pretty strong throw, I thought, and that is still like outside the circle, I think, even. Put a big anhyzer on that. It's still short too. That was not a great throw, but we're getting 2 pars. I really should range find this hole, though I think they're changing the pin positions. They might be moving this back to the left side. Deep circle 2 from the PX3 here. Oh, terrible putt. Oh my God, that slipped right out of my hands. Oh, terrible throw also, geez. I cannot putt with these discs. Hole 14, 220 feet, par 3. Basket straight ahead, a little bit off to the left here. We have a bit of a headwind, so it'll be a real good chance to see how trustworthy are these discs in the wind. So we'll see, can the P3X make a comeback here? PX3 has the box first. Ooh, that's gonna be short. Yeah, that's like circle's edge, but it held up in the wind okay. I put it on hyzer, it flipped up the flat and carried straight. Had a little bit of fade still at the end. Let's try the P3X here. Oh man, I should have thrown that more direct at the basket. That was a beautiful line. Flipped up to flat, carried straight, very little fade here in this headwind. If I would have put that direct, I thought it was gonna have a little swing, honestly. I should have known in the headwind that even this P3X is still gonna be pretty straight. It's still just a putter, so should have gone more direct. All right, I need to really get a miracle putt here. The PX3 is actually a little closer still. I honestly think I have a good chance of making it. Got to make this one then to keep up. Oh, short. No, I missed. All right, 2 pars. All right, last hole here. Hole 17, 200 feet, par 3. Nice tunnel shot straight ahead here. PX3 still has the box, 2-stroke lead. It should cruise to victory here. P3X only has a chance if this just has a meltdown, which shouldn't happen here. Though we do have a pretty narrow fairway here, I think if I were to throw both of these flat and hard, they would still end off a bit to the left. Maybe if I give it enough speed, it would just have just a gentle fade. But I think I'm gonna try to put just a little bit of flex on it, drift it over a little bit to the right, and then try to keep it more in line with the basket the whole way. So here we go, PX3 first. Money. That's a park job there with the PX3. Oh, I almost messed it up. I thought I said it wrong. P3X. Let's see, can we replicate that? That was such a good throw with the PX3. Pin high, should get a birdie still. All right, well, I'm really happy I was able to finish strong here. 2 birdies. Actually, these are both very similar distance. I thought the P3X here was a little bit further, but the PX3 is actually a good deal shorter. So I'm able to get the P3X to go just a little bit further, and I think it's just because of the less glide. I feel like I need to compensate and throw it harder, or if I just don't trust the PX3 as much. I think it's just a little more uncomfortable in my hand. 2 birdies to end the day. Almost missed that one. Let me head back home and I'm gonna give you my final thoughts. All right, well, I am all finished up with my little test run of the P3X from Discmania and comparing it against the PX3 from Prodigy. Even though the PX3 was the disc that came out on top, I do want this video to be a little more focused on the P3X, so I'll sort of give you my opinions on this disc a little bit more. I just wanted to throw the PX3 in. I could see it being really easy to get these 2 discs confused because not only are the names similar, but honestly they sort of serve the same purpose as well. They're both overstable putters, so I thought it would be a pretty interesting comparison. But overall, I was very impressed with the P3X. Obviously, this may not be the disc that came out on top in today's challenge, but if we really look back, the holes that I was able to pull away with from the PX3, that was more just user error, especially on putts with the P3X. I felt like the discs were actually decently similar. I would definitely say the P3X is a nice, reliable, overstable putter. It's not a zone. I don't even think I would say it's like an envy or anything either, but it is very dependable. And I was actually a little bit worried when I saw the 2 glide that it was just not gonna go very far for me, but honestly, this disc goes. I was able to at least get the same distance, if not even more, with the P3X here as the PX3, which is supposed to have a little bit more glide. I really enjoyed throwing this disc. Honestly, like the profile, nice and flat, feels very comfortable in my hand. Again, just a little bit shallower than the PX3 here, not by a lot. They're very similar heights. Also, the bead is a little bit smaller on the P3X, so for me personally, it feels just a little bit better in the hand, a little more comfortable. I think I was just getting nice, clean releases with it. I just couldn't putt with it, but I really love Discmania's S-Line plastic. I think it feels amazing in the hand. It's one of my favorite plastics, honestly, and this P3X just feels great in the hand. I don't think I'm going to be putting it in my bag, but I would definitely strongly consider it if I were making some changes in my throwing putter slots. I do think it's a really nice putter. You're getting a nice straight flight out of it with a dependable fade at the end. You can do some really nice shot shapes with it. If you put it on a bit of anhyzer on release, it will pan and hold for a little bit, but it does have enough finish to the left. I really, really enjoyed throwing this disc a lot. And then we will still touch on the PX3 here because honestly, if you are looking for an overstable putter, I don't think you can go wrong with either of these 2 discs. The PX3, I was still getting great flights with similar shot shapes, just a little bit less overstable than the P3X here, but not by a lot. I did notice like on anhyzers, this would definitely hold the turn a little bit longer, but it wouldn't just stay turned over and finish to the right. It definitely wants to pan out and then finish flat. So I do think this is another disc you can make some great shot shapes with. So I really enjoyed both of these discs, but specifically with the P3X, I do think I prefer it just because it feels a little bit more comfortable in my hand. And I do like the fact that it is just a little bit more overstable as well. I think if I were to bag like the PX3, I actually was using this for just a little bit. I was trying to say like, oh, maybe I'll use this instead of say an Envy. I found that this is just a little bit too similar to when I was throwing my PA3. There was just a little bit too much similarity. There wasn't as much separation as I would want. I think the PX3 is just a slightly more overstable PA3. But I think the P3X is actually a very unique disc. I do think it's nice having something that doesn't have a crazy amount of glide, so you can really put a good amount of power into it. It's just a nice point and shoot, dependably overstable disc. So I really enjoyed the P3X. that is going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've had a chance to throw either of these putters, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you have a preference between the two? Maybe you prefer throwing Discmania discs, you would go with the P3X. If you're throwing Prodigy, you're gonna go with the PX3. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching and for your patience with my lack of uploads for the past couple of weeks. Hopefully we can get back on a more routine schedule here. My work schedule is finally starting to get cleared up. I'm not fully caught up yet, but I'm getting there. So hopefully we'll be able to get a more regular schedule out in the next coming weeks. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed this little disc review, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and also ring that notification bell so you can be notified when our next episode comes out. Until next time, guys, cheers.